Wandavision Day! My name is Morgan and welcome to Beaker Barnes. If you're like me, you have been waiting for this day forever. It has been so long since we have gotten a new MCU movie, and now we're getting a TV show and Phase 4 is beginning. I'm psyched. I'm so excited. So to commemorate this day, I figured I would show you my 3 essential WandaVision comics. The 3 series I think you should read before you start watching the show. Now, the Scarlet Witch and the Vision have been around for a very, very long time in comics, and they have been married for just as long, so their history is rich, and it's super hard to cover every single issue that they have been in just one video. Obviously, this isn't going to include everything, and I can do more videos if you guys want about House of M and the Uncanny Avengers, the Young Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. There is so much to dig into, guys, but these 3 12-issue series are my favorite WandaVision series. Before we jump into it, if you found me by accident somehow, why don't you subscribe, like, leave a comment. I make videos about comics, movies, books, anything at all I really like. If you jive with what I jive with, you're gonna want to stick around. Now, let's jump into it. The first issue that I'm going to talk about is Scarlet Witch 2015. It is my favorite Scarlet Witch comics ever. These were the very first comics I read when I got into the Scarlet Witch, one of the first comics I ever read ever. I have a lot of them. I have the original editions, I've got the books. They're great. Elizabeth Olsen herself read these comics to kind of inform her performance. So, what are these comics about? Post the divorce of the Scarlet Witch and the Vision, Wanda Maximoff is starting over. She's got her own apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and she's looking to reconnect with her witchy side, with her witch heritage. Witchcraft is broken, and only Wanda Maximoff can save it. It is a beautiful exploration of Wanda as a character, as it mostly follows her on her own and the ghost of her mentor Agatha Harkness as they travel across the world to try to fix witchdom. Now, I could do a whole nother video around the complications of the Romani people and the Scarlet Witch. It's a very, very long and interesting backstory, but for the sake of reading this comic, all you really need to know is that Wanda has discovered that Magneto, the leader of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, is not her true father. So part of her journey in restoring witchdom is to find out who her true parents were. And that, in true comic fashion, is something that's been retconned, and I'll talk about a little later in the video. But for the basic plot, it is really, really incredible. Another reason why I love it is the art style. The art of this comic is absolutely incredible. I'll put a couple of my favorite panels on the screen, but as you can see, there are some gorgeous 2-page spreads and some really, really just pretty artwork. It's like this. Each edition has a different art style, which makes it feel really new to each location that they're going to, and it's just great. I love it. Another great plus for this series is it all takes place over the big comic event of Civil War II. And so in issue 7, Pietro comes to Wanda to try to recruit her. And there's this great moment, which I'll put on screen here. I always love when the Vision gets called a toaster. I'm really hoping there's a toaster joke somewhere in WandaVision, please. And there's also a very great exploration of the Witch's Road, which is the in-between place between the living and the dead, where only witches can travel. It's a place very, very sacred to Agatha and to Wanda, and I'm really hoping we see that explored in the MCU. But if we don't, this is the place for it. The next series that I have to recommend is Vision 2015, Tom King's Vision Run. Oh my gosh, I cannot say enough about this comic. If you only get around to one of these series, read Tom King's Vision. It is absolutely exceptional. This is some of the best comics ever. Some of the best I have ever read. It's absolutely exceptional. The Vision is human, and what is more human than wanting a family? So, using the pieces that made the Vision, the Vision decides to construct an entirely new family, consisting of a wife, 2 children, and a dog. And he moves them out to Washington, D.C., or just outside of D.C. And so this comic is really an exploration about what it means to be human and what it means to love. If you only want to read one comic, I would read number 7. Read Vision 2015 number 7. This is really about the destruction of Wanda and Vision's relationship, and it is heartbreaking, and it is so incredibly moving. It is exceptional, some of the best writing. I can't really say much more about it other than just go read it. The way it twists and turns is exceptional, and I really think a lot of the family dynamics that we see at play are what we are going to see in Wandavision. So, the Vision 2015, I highly, highly, highly recommend this. And the final comic series I'm going to recommend to you today is Vision and the Scarlet Witch from 1985. I know, it is a ways back, but let me tell you when I say that this is some essential Wanda and Vision reading. These issues were released once a month from 1985 to 1986, and it tells the story of the first year of the Scarlet Witch and the Vision's marriage. A lot of fun characters pop in. We see Namor the Submariner, we see Luke Cage, we see Spider-Man, we see a lot of the West Coast Avengers. So just a bunch of fun pop-up characters appear every now and then. This series also has a lot of really great backstory for classic Scarlet Witch and Vision. You learn about Wanda's parentage, you learn about the Vision's parentage, how he came to be, and if you're interested in who is the Vision outside of what he was in the MCU, outside of the characters that we have in the MCU, I highly recommend Vision and the Scarlet Witch. It's also so funny. It is incredibly funny. I'll put up a couple of panels that are just proof. It's some of the funniest comics writing I have ever read, and totally in a way that it was not intentional to be funny, but I find it insanely funny. I think it's amazing. Come on, guys, just look at this. Captain America canonically drinks milk, whole milk. That is his drink of choice. What the hell? What is that? The Vision is just chasing a pair of pants. Just a pair of pants. Ultron's just wrecking Iron Man's shit. I beat you once already, Iron Man. That's right. What? And look at Quicksilver. What is he doing? The pleasures of the flesh rule other men, but not me. I am lean and tight. I am pure as the driven snow. What is going on? Just read it. Read it. Other highlights of this comic include Quicksilver. If you, like me, really miss Quicksilver in the MCU and you think that the MCU is just kind of forgotten about Quicksilver, this comic has your Quicksilver fix. We get to meet Quicksilver's wife, Crystal, his daughter, Luna. It's super adorable. He's really funny, and there's great sibling dynamics between Wanda and Pietro. It's exceptional. This comic series ends with the birth of the twins, of Billy and Tommy. So if you want to know who Billy and Tommy are, who Wiccan and Speed are before we meet them in WandaVision, I think this is a great jumping off point. So those are my 3 recommendations as a intro course to WandaVision. Let me know what you guys think. All of these comics are available on Marvel Unlimited or free online, or you can check your local comic book shops to try to find them. Let me know what other reading lists you guys want in the comments down below. I'll probably make some about Wiccan and Speed once we meet them, about Sword once we are introduced to it in the show. So yeah, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.